watching the 2023 SCAC Fall Media Days, and today we're taking a dive into the Colorado College men's and women's cross-country programs. The Tigers, of course, will once again be led by head coach Alex Nichols, along with seniors Kendall Accetta on the women's side and Ayden Cherry on the men's side. Coach, Kendall, Ayden, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Coach, we'll get started with you. You've been involved with this program for well over a decade now, going back to, of course, your time as a student athlete, a longtime assistant, and now into that head coaching role, entering your third season as the head coach of these programs. What have you learned over the course of the last couple of years, stepping into that head coach's role as you prepare for another preseason? What are some things you've picked up to help this group improve? And what are your excitement level going into yet another 2023 challenging year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously super excited. I think it's going to be a really amazing year for both men's and women's teams. But yeah, I think one of the things I've learned about preseason and just the return to campus in general is that it's a big transition for a lot of people, whether you're an upperclassman moving to a new dorm or a first year living on your own for the first time. So yeah, I think it's just really important that we kind of unify as a team, but also use this time to kind of take a little bit of a step back from training and not really have huge expectations that we're going to need to hit, really specific times at workouts and things like that. Just, yeah, really focus on the team building and then give people a chance to acclimate to the altitude. That's part of it too. And just keep everyone really healthy.
Kendall, coming into your senior season, you've been a big part of this program throughout the course of your career, but have battled some challenges with some injuries. How excited are you now to be back here, coming into another preseason camp? Where's your level, and how are you feeling heading into this senior season?
Yeah, I'm feeling very excited to be back. It's been a long and slow buildup. I started running again in May-ish, and I've been just adding 4 miles every week pretty much. So it's been slow and steady to get back to campus, but it's so fun to be back here. It's a very different group. I took last spring off, so this is kind of like a 5th year. So it's a new group of people, which I think we'll adjust to. And it's just really nice to be able to meet the new freshmen. And we're going to head up to actually go to a cabin up in the mountains and then get to climb Pikes Peak. So I'm super excited for that. And yeah, just taking it day by day, trying to keep staying healthy. And I'm super excited for the season and what's to come.
Ayden, you come into this your senior year, really taking a big step last year as a junior. You PR'd, had an outstanding performance at the SCAC championships, just narrowly missing out on all conference and helping this team, accomplish another team goal and being crowned SCAC championship again. For you, how did last season give you confidence coming into this year? And how excited are you for heading into another preseason coming off such a successful junior campaign?
Yeah, thank you. I'm definitely very excited. I think I learned a lot last year from my teammates and Alex and all the coaches, and I'm really excited to take those experiences into this season. I'm excited to, like Kendall said, meet the new freshmen and get back out and racing, because it was a long summer of training, and I think always those summers are really helpful, but you kind of just want to be racing during the summer. So I'm definitely excited to be back out again.
Coach, when you come into a new season with a program that, because of the hard work that you've put in, that your athletes have put in, have had the type of success you've had, the women have won 2 SCAC championships in a row and 3 of the last 4, the men 4 championships in a row and 5 of the last 6. How do you keep pushing the right buttons? How do you keep motivating a group of student athletes that have had so much success out there and, I guess basically reset the challenges going into a new year?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always bigger challenges that we can look for, and that's definitely, really focused in on regional goals and national goals. But also I think it's good to kind of take a step back and just make sure the running and the training is fun, because that's kind of how you can keep building that 4-year consistency. And so that's really built into the program, is like a 4-year approach where we can keep people increasing or developing over 4 years instead of getting stagnant and and just kind of not enjoying training. So big part of it is just having fun and staying consistent for 4 years.
Kendall, one of the things Coach said that I find interesting is just, even going into preseason, not stressing on times or the training or the mileage. And as an experienced runner, how have you kind of grown and understood the flow of a season, knowing that obviously you want to do well in early September, but some of those bigger goals aren't going to get accomplished based on that first race. And understanding that you can have a build to the championship season, is that something that you've sort of seen yourself grow and appreciate? And how do you kind of pass along that message to maybe some of the younger runners early on in the year?
Yeah, I think it's been really cool to see kind of the how the program has grown during my like 4 or 5 years here. Because I do think like my freshman year, I remember like there was a big emphasis on, you know, some of the earlier meets, we were talking about conference a lot, and it's been really cool to see our team grow and be able to look forward for regionals and nationals, and to be able to, you know, stay consistent and steady through the beginning meets, but really have our eyes set on bigger goals at the end. And I think that also helps people, you know, like Alex was saying, really enjoy it, because if you're stressed the whole season before every meet, before every workout, kind of stressing about your times and how the outcome's going to turn out, you're going to be pretty burned out by the end. So I think I've had my most success when I'm able to really just focus on having fun and enjoy running with my teammates, especially early on, and then feeling really ready for the big meets at the end. And then in terms of talking to the first years about it, I think something that Alex really emphasizes, which I really appreciated, is not only the progression of the season, but the progression of all of the 4 years. And so, you know, it's not only about being patient the first 3 weeks, it's about being patient, you know, through your freshman year and through all the transitions. And then, you know, hopefully you're running your best and having the most fun. You know, it keeps getting better as you get older. So I think, you know, there's a progression of the season and a progression of 4 years. But yeah, we run in trainers our first meet. We do little things to help people, you know, realize that our biggest meets are near the end of the season. So, yeah.
Ayden, as a cross-country runner, one of the things I admire the most is just the discipline it takes to continue to grow as a runner, and those steps that it requires, and a lot of time by yourself, and getting up at early mornings to avoid heat, or working on your base mileage. For you, how do you find the joy in that running in those difficult times? So what is it that continues to motivate you as a runner heading into this year?
Yeah, that's definitely a tricky question, but I think something that I really enjoy about running by myself is I feel as if I can learn a lot by myself. You don't really have much distractions, whether that be screens or other people. So I think a lot of time by myself, I can listen to my body well. I can learn about myself as a runner, as a person, and I think running by myself definitely allows me to do that. But certainly there are times, definitely this summer, where I was waking up pretty early to go on runs by myself, and was kind of not sure if I wanted to be doing that. But then I just had to remember our end of the season goals, and I know that work during the summer and by myself is going to pay off for our team goals when it comes to the end of the season. But just another little silly thing is we live in Colorado and it's beautiful. So if you're running by yourself, there's always places to look at if you're trying to look at some nice views.
Now, Coach, wrapping things up with you, as you've thought about this preseason and coming into this year, what are some of the challenges you expect to face with both of these teams, with these groups, and what are some of the assets that these teams have that you think will help prepare them for those challenges going into the year?
Yeah, I think sort of as you mentioned before, there is the challenge of having pressure, just being a successful team, and especially we have really big sophomore and first year classes, and so you know they're seeing our results from the last few years, and they're really wanting to be a part of that, which is great. But then you know you have to also help them realize that maybe it's not going to happen this year, or maybe they should kind of take a little bit of a step back in training in order to stay healthy in the long term. So that's just, it's a tough team dynamic when you have really high performing teams and everyone wants to be a part of that. So that's just kind of a tough balance to strike a little bit. But then in terms of advantages, I mean, our captains, our leadership on the team, you know, they've been through this, they know what it takes, they know all the little things that can add up over the course of the season. So I mean, I'm really relying on them to help develop those first year and sophomore runners into successful teams in the future too.
And finally, wrapping up with our two athletes, Kendall and Ayden, I just, you know, these seasons are successful if what plays out over the course of the year, you know, for the two of you, both, you know, individual goals that you might have and some team goals. What are you looking forward to most here heading into 2023?
Yeah, on a personal level, I'm very excited to stay healthy for a whole season. I think that's first and foremost. You know, you can only be successful if you're running out there and competing in the biggest races. So that's a big goal of mine. And then I think for our team and hopefully personally as well is to hopefully qualify for nationals again, place really high in the regionals, and then at nationals perform better than we did the previous year. So I think we have a super great team coming in, and yeah, I hope we're back at nationals competing at a really high level.
Yeah, just building off what Kendall said, I think personally, my like individual goals will come through team success. So I'm really hoping that we can qualify for nationals this year. I think that's definitely the top priority on the men's side. And I think we have a really great group to do that this year. We only lost 1 or 2 seniors. So we have a big upperclassmen presence, and I really hope that that leadership can help guide some of the younger runners to end of the season success. And I think we'll be very happy come the end of the season.
Colorado College men's and women's cross country programs. Again, CC will head into the season under the guidance of head coach Alex Nichols, along with captains Kendall Accetta and Ayden Cherry. The Tigers will open up the 2023 campaign when they head to the University of Colorado Springs Rustbuster on Saturday, September 2nd. Kendall, Ayden, coach, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.